Here. Hadn't seen Kris, so I was wondering.
Kris called me this morning and asked if I would stand in, so here I am instead of Kris Patton. Talking about the Chickasaw Nation Natural Resources Office, and this is a new office that's just being stood up by the Chickasaw Nation. You heard from Ethan Shute a little bit earlier from the Choctaw Nation. It's going to be very similar to the office that the Choctaw Nation has and now the Chickasaw Nation as well. The lens of the Natural Resource Office is a science-based water planning in support of implementing the recent water settlement. So the recent water settlement, the lawsuit between the tribes, the Choctaw and Chickasaw Nation and the state of Oklahoma that was resolved, has a number of elements in that cover the 21 counties in southeast Oklahoma. The Natural Resources Office is going to be focused primarily on that settlement agreement that focuses on sustainability, looking at research priorities, science-based objectives by which we can implement a sustainable approach to water resources for the future. So the message to the researchers are, if you're doing research in the 21 counties of southeast Oklahoma, please contact the Choctaw and Chickasaw Nation. The tribes have a unique way of being able to leverage the social interaction, the financial inputs necessary, and the technical resources that are necessary to implement sustainability. So I want to talk to you a little bit about one of the programs that we have with the Lake of the Arbuckles Watershed Project. The Chickasaw Nation applied to the Bureau of Reclamation for a $65,000 grant to design a plan to restore Arbuckle Lake. That plan was developed. The nation recruited a number of landowners in the basin that formed a 501c3. So that was their commitment to a long-term organization within the Arbuckle Lake watershed to help improve the water quality at Arbuckle Lake. The Noble Foundation has been a tremendous partner here, where they have come in and are working with producers in that watershed for best management practices. And I think it's essential to note that we aren't recruiting necessarily landowners to participate with best management practices to improve Arbuckle Lake. We are recruiting them to improve their own economy. So as they implement best management practices, they also improve their economic ability to survive on that land. When they improve their economic viability and they implement best management practices, the soil health is improved, and we know that improved soil health also improves water quantity and water quality. A slightly different approach maybe to some of the traditional programs that are led by EPA, the federal and state government. We hope that the Chickasaw Nation's role is to facilitate this group, not to run the group. That facilitation is providing some financial resources to match producers' cost of implementing best management practices. It's to bring in conservation organizations that can help implement best management practices. It's to help find experts that can help producers put producer programs together on their particular piece of property so that they can not only understand what those best management practices are, but also monitor the economic benefit of implementing those best management practices. So this is one of the programs. We have a number of programs that are going on within the Choctaw and Chickasaw Nation. A quick shout out, Susan Paddock with the OCA Institute. OCA is the Choctaw and Chickasaw word for water. The Water Institute at East Central is a partner with the Chickasaw Nation, working on a number of educational and technical aspects as we move forward. So thank you very much.